Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saeed. I do want to thank you for joining us tonight on our Public Concerns Night, Wednesday, the 7th of July, 2021, right here on Synergy Television from 7 to 8 p.m., Monday to Friday. Remember, we have our Lovers Lane, our relationship segment on Friday nights. We have our Public Concerns Night on our Wednesday, every Wednesday. So remember, viewers, share our live stream, Facebook, Real Talk with Saieed Ali, on YouTube, TT Real Talk, subscribe, hit the bell, and you would know when we go live. So viewers, call your friends, call your family, let them know Real Talk Public Concerns Night is starting right here on Synergy Television. Let them know about our Wednesday night show. Our Wednesday night show is where we deal with the community. We deal with the roads in the community. We deal with the drainage in the community. We deal with the councillors not visiting. We deal with the MPs not visiting. We deal with the broken bridges. I want to hear from you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, concerning the broken infrastructure in your area. The road, the drain, the bridge, it want cleaning, it want paving, whatever it want. Tonight is the night, we deal with it. So viewers, feel free to call in 238-6716. Highlight it in your area. What corporation you belong to, when last they visited, what is the word from the minister. We want to know what is taking place. We are going to highlight issues until we get some answer for it. So viewers, as we start off our little headline tonight, Haitian president was assassinated in an attack on his home in the nation's capital. The first lady was reportedly injured in the assault also. It's a sad thing. He was assassinated. You know, a lot of things could have caused this. A lot of things. Political, economy broken in our country, paid hit. But he was assassinated in an attack on his home in the nation capital. His wife was injured. Up to this time, we understand that she's in a hospital. So we wish her a speedy recovery, and we hope the Haitian president, well, the nation, could come to peace. Let's hope that Trinidad and Tobago do not end up like them. We're moving along, viewers. We're just giving you an update of incident that happened throughout the day. Feel free to call in 238-6716. Patrol vessels arrived in TNT. 2 offshore patrol vessels for the Coast Guard arrived in the country yesterday. Astral was awarded a US $126 million contract for the 2 patrol boats by the government in August of 2019. So viewers, that is the boat. Finally, they have arrived in Trinidad and Tobago yesterday, being the Tuesday, the 6th of July, 2021. We'll just have to wait and see how long it will take to commission these boats to actually go out in the waters of Trinidad and Tobago to patrol our maritime borders. COVID-19 cases rise in elderly. The Ministry of Health has observed an increase in the number of COVID-19 cases in persons over 60 years of age. Over 60 years of age. So to the elderly folks in Trinidad and Tobago, take all the necessary precautions. Wear your mask when you're outside. Sanitize, you know. You see, when this virus hits you, it is you to take care of yourself. Because when you end up in a facility, what medicine are you getting? What medication are you getting? Are you getting 100% treatment? Over the weeks we have heard all sorts of things. Over the months we have seen all kinds of things. So I am begging you tonight, please take care of yourself. So before we go any further into our public concerns, would this individual please get in touch with me? Deodat Tiloxing. Friends and family of this individual, would you just let him know that Saieed Ali wants to have a word with him? It is very important. Deodat Tiloxing. Thank you so much. So we started off our program tonight. Public concerns, bad road, broken bridges, bad drains, corporation not responding, MPs, councillors, you're not seeing them. Caller, good night.
Caller, good night.
Go right ahead.
Yes, I'm going for Winkong Wood last give us my road. We bad at Winkong Wood last give us. I don't know over the river.
Last Quavers?
Yeah, Winkong Wood last give us. In Texas. We are no bridge, we are no road, the road we bad and no bridge over the river.
No bridge over the river and bad roads?
Yes,
all right.
We bad, we know.
Here what you do, get somebody to do a video or take some pictures.
No, I pictures with the jeep going inside in the hole, it's having a hole in the river.
No, but you see what we need? We need proof, we need a video, we need a photo of the roads and the bridges so we could highlight it. So if the ministry doesn't know where it is located, somebody will tell them while viewing it on Real Talk with Saieed Ali. So if you could send in a photo for us or a video for us, it would be better. Now viewers, public camera, little camera shot. So viewers, remember, realpublicconcerns@gmail.com. Email us your photos, your videos with a little note. And let me tell you something, I will be more than willing to highlight it on TV. Now viewers, there's a hand on screen holding a camera. When you are taking your videos and your picture, turn your phone. So we will get a proper picture and a proper video. For those of you who do not understand a little about technology, we are educating you tonight. Thanks to my audio guy Navin. So the camera on screen there, the phone, you realize it is slant. So when you're sending in your videos and your pictures, please hold your phone in that direction, snap your picture and your video and send it to us. So viewers, 2386716, call in, highlight the roads, the bridges, the drains, whatever it is. And we're moving on tonight. Bad road condition in Point 14. Bad road condition in Point 14, Cap Deville Road. Now, this was sent in by Candice. Look at that. We're highlighting the bad roads. We're highlighting the bad roads. We want the councillors, we want the MPs, we want the Ministry of Works and Transport to understand that our road need fixing in Trinidad and Tobago. They want to raise the gas price. In some areas, the price will vary. We have been paying road tax. We have been paying VAT on car parts, on mechanicals, on tires to run on the road. There's a gas tax. We also pay that. But look at the condition. Do we really deserve this type of road in Trinidad? Look how small Trinidad is. 1.4 million people. A tiny country in the Caribbean. And the condition of the roads. Do we really need these type of roads with billions of dollars circulating in our economy? Bridge in the heights of Aripo. A bridge located in the heights of Aripo is causing problem after a truck fell through while crossing the bridge. No one has assisted thus far. Look at that. This is in Aripo Heights. Look at that. Thus far, nobody have paid attention to it. No assistance have been given thus far. Thus far. You see, I have decided that our Wednesday night show, we're going to deal with public concerns. The roads, we need it fixed. The drain, we need it fixed. Bridges, we need it fixed. For too long, Our roads have been in deplorable conditions. Tire is going up. Mechanical parts went up for vehicles. You see, it's not just the taxi drivers feel it and the maxi drivers. Every individual that owns a car or a vehicle in Trinidad feels the pinch of maintaining their vehicle. Every individual. Caller, good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead.
I sent more videos to you for Scorpion last week Wednesday. You will be airing that tonight?
Well, once it's on the list, once the staff provided, it will air tonight.
That's from last week Wednesday night, right?
Thank you, my friend.
All right, thank you.
So once you send the video viewers on our Wednesday night, we will air as much video and visual as possible to get the word to the minister, to get the word to the corporation, to get the word to people in authority to fix it. Because we can't year come, year go, months come, months go, weeks come, weeks go. We cannot be driving on the same old road. Every month we cannot be doing alignment on our vehicle. Every month we cannot be buying a tire to say, well, a tire burst and a tire bend when you hit a pothole on the road. How long will you continue doing that? How long? Last Tuesday, the Tunapuna Piako Regional Corporation cleaned a street in Aruka. Persons were told that a vehicle would come to pick up the garbage. However, tomorrow would be a week and it is still there. It is now entering the drains in front of person's home. Roads on rubbish on the streets. And I believe the corporation or a private entity is supposed to pass and pick up the rubbish. Look at that. How it looking? Does it look nice? Does it look good? How many times the citizens have to be complaining of bad roads? How many times the government will have to pay contractors millions of dollars? How many times does the citizen themselves have to purchase material to fix road in their community? How many times? We see that often taking place in Trinidad. Very often. Villagers have to come to get together to fix their own road. Why is this? Why is this? Call a good night.
Mr. Hakim, don't call it.
Hello?
Yeah.
Go right ahead, you're live on Real Talk.
My name is Saieed.
Good night.
The main road in Punchestown, the main road, there is a helicopter that comes from the town.
Mr. Hakim.
The main road in Punchestown?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. You see, viewers, we the citizens cannot be dipping in our pocket to buy material to fix the road when we already pay tax for it. When we already pay tax for it. I would like the minister to jump in the ministry luxurious vehicle together with a team and tour Trinidad. That is the Ministry of Works. Yes, I understand you have other departments, but your portfolio is about the road. It's about construction. Come out, come out. Come out and see about the road. Come out and meet the individuals. Come out and see the flooding that is being caused by uncleaned drains and riverbanks and waterway. Come out and meet the people in flood. Come out, apart from flooding, come out and meet the people. Drive around. On the other hand, leave the luxurious vehicle. Come out with a van or a car and drive on the road. Call a good night.
Good night, Mr. Saeed.
Go right ahead.
There's a depression along the southern trunk road by the just after TJ's. You think they're not fixing that? You think they go fix the rest of the road? Thank you.
Thank you, my friend, for highlighting it. You see, we have to highlight it. Unless we don't highlight it, nobody will care what happens to it. So that is why now, on our Wednesday night, we have taken up the initiatives to highlight conditions. Now, flooding in Aruka. Previously, there were many flooding in the area of Aruka. Real Talk got the opportunity to speak with persons in the area, and they have experience and may have been experiencing this from time to time around. Look at this.
Well, I was born here. I grew up here. I'm 57 years old. We've been having floods. You can't stop it. But lately, it has gone, it is not like it used to be. Used to get flooding normally, used to come in the yard, you wash it out, no problem. I don't have a problem with it. But now, it's not like that anymore. 5 minutes rain, you're getting no less than 4 feet of water. Well, not 4. Around 2.5 feet of water in the yard, straight to the house. Into your kitchen, all your furniture. Well, I don't have furniture downstairs. But I have a bar, so most of my goods I have to either put them on height. Sometimes they get wet. But I have to now put everything on height in my house. Plus, I have to block doors, waterways, anything that water could get in, I have to secure it. The whole system of it is like this. It comes this way and to the front by the main road, where there is only a 4 feet tunnel that takes the water out of it. So when it reaches there, sometimes trees, logs, debris blocks it and it backs this way. Like I say, we will get the flooding. You cannot stop it. Rain has to fall. It's nature. But we could do something to at least alleviate the problem in some way.
So you see that is Aruka. And Aruka, as you hear rainfall, 5 minutes. 5 minutes and as it is flood. It is flood. So what we are doing now, we are asking the corporation. And we are also asking the citizens, do not dump rubbish in the waterway. Sometimes when you hear driving, you see stove and fridge and thing in the waterway. So we're asking the citizens, do not dump your rubbish in the waterway. There are rubbish trucks for that. There are the dumps for that. Take a drive to the dump your garbage. Call a good night.
Saeed, good night. There's a big problem on the highway from Grand Bazaar to Shagwanas going on. When rain starts to fall in the night and you're driving, you can't see a thing on the road because the white line has not been painted and the lights are very poor. So I think, I don't know who advised the Minister of Works, but they doesn't advise them properly. Even the flood you're talking about, if they clear the drainage before the rainfall, the water will run out freely. And they wait until rainfall to see flood, then they put a tractor. These people mad? Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. You see, viewers, I'm encouraging you to call in. Call in from whatever part of Trinidad or Tobago you are. Because Wednesday night is where we're highlighting it. Now, it's only when a flood happens, we just highlight the flood. So what we're trying to do is that we're trying to highlight the issue before it happened. Before the flooding comes. We are in the rainy season, yes. But before the flooding starts in Trinidad and Tobago, let the water course be cleaned. And this is where the Ministry of Works and Transport comes in. Now, it makes no sense paying millions of dollars to contractors when you could use the corporation. Buy 1 or 2 excavators for the corporation, 1 or 2 backhoe, hire some operators, and let them do the job instead of paying millions of dollars to contractors. Now you would save these millions of dollars that you pay contractors, buy some excavators and backhoe, put it in the relevant corporation, hire drivers, hire operators, and we will get the job done. It will cost the Ministry of Works and Transport less. It is a fact. It will cost them less because the corporation is actually doing the work and not a contractor or a subcontractor where you have to pay a couple millions of dollars. It making no sense. You see, when I come here, I just come to educate you all, you know. I don't come to bash you all, you know. I come to educate you, and I come to reach out to the minister, even to the ministry office. If we can't get them on phone, I will get them on the show. Because somebody will be looking at Real Talk, and they would realize, but wait now, this happening in Arima. The flooding taking place in Aruka. A water course down in Barapo and in Pinal and in Debate need cleaning. Now if you have excavators assigned to the corporation without contractors getting involved, you would save millions. It's millions of dollars you're looking to save while actually getting the work done. You see, people will get employment in the corporation as operators and truck drivers and banksman for the excavator and backhoe operators. Corporation will start functioning. They will start to do their jobs. Caller, good night.
Hello?
Yes, go right ahead.
Yes, hello, Mr. Ali.
Yes,
listen,
sir.
Trinidadian people on whole, they don't care about anything else. I understand we have poor drainage and stuff, but if the people themselves take the initiative and not dump the garbage into the drainage, the place will be a better place, because they will go to America and they will take a cup or a bottle and put it in a garbage can, find a garbage can and put it inside of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my friend. You see, if the Ministry of Works and Transport don't know how to save money, I would come right here and use my Wednesday night program to tell them how to save money, you know. To tell them how to save money, you know. Because I will tell you something. When they hear a contractor get a piece of job to do, for instance, you have a 300 or 400 feet water course. You have 100 feet straight. And then you have 200 feet curb where the public not seeing. You will clean 100 feet, and then you have 200 feet that the public not seeing uncleaned. What going to happen? What going to happen? So this is the problem. That is a problem right here. You will clean what is seen, and what is not seen, it remain right here. And then now, the Ministry of Works and Transport now have to pay millions now to individuals to clean a halfway water course. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Saieed.
Go right ahead, my friend.
You know, everything you talk there is good. I agree with you with everything you're saying here. But you must understand the country in which you're living in. This is that country I only kick back. You must understand that. And without that kickback, how you operating?
I understand.
If we born under Eric William, we grow under Eric William, everything is racket. So you must understand that everything is kickback.
I understand. Thank you, my friend. You see, we have to try and shift from this. When you're here in a ministry and you are an MP, a member of parliament, or a minister in parliament, let me tell you something. You just have to build a track record to have a good name. You see, Trinidad and Tobago and viewers of Real Talk understand well. You see, Saieed is a man that's push for laws, he will push for legislation, he will push for amendment, and it will come to pass. That is the track record Real Talk with Saieed Ali holds. As I show, as an individual that push for laws and legislations and amendments signed by the president and get it active in Trinidad. Everyone knows in Trinidad who looks at Real Talk or who have heard about Real Talk. local, regional, or international, they will tell you that individual, anything that individual push for, he does get it. I don't know what kind of light that individual light in, but he does get it. So for Rohan Sinana now to have a proper name as one of maybe the only minister in works and transport to come around that actually doing something, you need to get up off the nice soft black chair, you need to jump in a 4x4 van and come out on the road. Come out on the road. That is what you need to do in order to have a good name. The commissioner of police is be out in the streets. He is be out in the streets. The citizens of Trinidad and Tobago are accustomed seeing him out in the streets. And that is where we want to see the Works and Transport Minister together with his team out on the streets, on job site, on drainage area, on road area, on bridges area. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, I heard what you're saying about the excavators and stuff in the corporation. But you have to understand, in the 5 years term, it will normally have 3 elections. Local election, general election, and internal party election. So who will pay for all of that if you don't give the contractors the work? Who will pay for the election?
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. Performance would leave you with a good name. Dr. Eric William died, but yet his name continued to rise in Trinidad. How come we don't hear about past MPs of various ministries? How come we don't hear about them? When they come out of political arena, you hear nothing about them again. Why? Why? Did they build a lasting name in the public domain? We don't. So if you perform in your ministry, this is what I'm saying to Rohan Sinaran. If you perform in your ministry, your name will live on for generations. Caller, good night.
Good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead.
I'd like to make a comment concerning the flooding, right? I remember a couple of years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, they made an announcement in the country that everybody put out their rubbish for the week outside the road. And then they had their tractors grabbing up fridge and dumping it in trucks, and they went to dump all the rubbish.
Yes.
If they tried to do this every 3 months in every community,
correct,
you wouldn't have no flooding going on in the river. And the Minister of Works supposed to have a team assigned in Trinidad and Tobago who responsible just to clean rivers, because slush always go in river. Forget the rubbish. Slush just go in the river. And when the rubbish stick with the slush, that is what causes flooding. Alright? And they have the money to do that, you know. But as they say, the management.
Yes, yes.
And you can't blame the minister alone. You have to blame the head, which is the prime minister. Because everything reflects from, you know. If he can't control his ministers, how the ministers will control other people?
I understand.
Alright, thank you.
Well said, well said. You see, this is where corporations comes in. You see, you're trying to save money. When you pay a contractor $500,000 for 2-day work, and you have 2 excavators assigned, or a couple of excavators assigned to corporations, you will get more performance from the workers than your pay contractors that have to rush down the work. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night, Mr. Saeed.
Go right ahead.
I do not want to dampen the spirit of your callers about rubbish and drains and so forth. But what I want to tell you is that 60 years ago, when the colonial government left the physical infrastructure in Trinidad, there was no upgrade to any infrastructure in terms of drainage. And what has happened with development these infrastructure has become undersized. And now with climate change and urban development at the rate at which it is taking place, undersized drains simply do not have the capacity for what is required. Government have to undertake a program to upgrade drainage infrastructure nationally and commit a budget to it. And this budget will have to be spread over a 5-year term or more, because you cannot stress the treasury only on drainage. You have to have the treasury using money for other things. So if you allocate a sum of money every year, you will be able to disburse about $3 or $4 billion to get the drainage done throughout the entire country. So you have to take into account climate change. You have higher intensity rainfall in very shorter duration that is causing intense flooding. And since Carney Limited came out of service, there is no rain gauge record wherever these streams and so occur. And since these stream flood gauges are no longer in service and nobody maintains it, there is no record of what kind of flooding occurs in these streams to be able to take a comprehensive program to upgrade drainage in the country. So I am saying this for drainage division and engineers who are listening to comprehend that, look, they have to start thinking, changing the way they think, and start thinking on a broader perspective and encompass urban development as part of the modeling in the drainage plan, and size these drains to be able to handle what is happening in the country. Now, one of the things I will tell you, early in the rainy season, you wouldn't get any flooding because there's a lot of detention capacity in rivers and in the surface to absorb water and so. And later on in the rainy season, a very smaller rainfall will cause a much serious flooding because there's much more excess water over the detention capacity that will contribute to the flooding and the runoff that will cause devastating floods. So that later on in the rainy season, it gets very worse with a very smaller flood. While earlier on in the rainy season, it is not as bad as you get deeper into the rainy season. So the other problem that we are having, local area drainage is done very much where it is visible to the public. And the problem with drainage is that drainage has to be undertaken where the public doesn't see the amount of rivers coming in to be cleared and seen. And the public wouldn't see that. And that doesn't bring credit to publicity in terms of advertising work being done. So once you're not doing that, as you rightly say, just doing the work up front. The very picture you were showing, cleaning the mouth of the river bridge. What about downstream of that river, where the river will be soaked, overgrown and grass and undersized and banks full up and the flow cannot take place properly. So all of these are considerations. So it is not as easy to say that flooding could be solved in 1 year. Flooding has to be a program that has to be implemented, and you have to look at how you're disbursing funds over a period to schedule and continuously work from a period to period and get the flooding program implemented. You get some major funding from some source dedicated to that only and have it done simultaneously so that it could shorten the time. But it simply wouldn't be feasible to just do all the drainage in one go across the entire country. You have to look at a national program for national benefit and how to utilize funding at a national level without stressing the treasury and having other projects of funding to have those carry on. So, Saeed?
Now, Kola, let me ask you something before you go. Now, the ministry does pay millions of dollars to contractors, right? Coming to the flooding season in Trinidad and maybe also in Tobago. But the same $1 million, right? Or $500,000 or $250,000 you're paying to a contractor who have the equipment. Do you think if the Ministry of Works and Transport invests in excavators and backhoes and put it in the corporations throughout Trinidad and Tobago, whether it be Works and Transport, whether it be Victoria County Council, do you think it will solve at least half of the problem by the corporation who actually have the excavator, the equipment, don't you think that they will get a better job? Because the corporation would be maintaining, they would be maintaining the waterway instead of you have to pay a contractor $1 million to come and clean this waterway, and then 6 months again you have to come and pay them a next $1 million to clean the same waterway.
Okay, let me give you the other side of the story. Without looking back too far, the government used to have its own resources, plant and equipment in the Ministry of Road.
Yes.
They used to have a place called Agua Santa, making their own hot mix, providing their own gravel for road. They used to have a company called Secondary Roads Improvement Company doing their own road repairs and so on. And eventually, all of that started to fail so that the work started to get privatized. Once it goes in the public sector, it will fail so that the work will continue. So the program has to take into account planning to incorporate the difficulties that you will encounter. You see, sensible and intelligent thinking wouldn't simply say, look, this is the problem, so we must do this. You have to look at what is the broad picture and from a broad perspective to implement a national plan at a national level. Stop pointing fingers, look at the thing comprehensively.
Yes.
And do something that could be implemented and that could be completed. It is decades now that we have the same problem being repeated. And in order to overcome that, we have to make a start somewhere and start thinking progressively, not only as an individual, but as a country.
Yes.
So, Saeed, I say these things to inspire people and not to condemn people so that we could get something going somewhere.
Now,
if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Our Wednesday night show is not to condemn, you know. Our Wednesday night show, public concerns, is to highlight the road, to highlight the drain, to highlight bridges, so that even though the minister is not aware of it, you understand? They would be aware of it on national television. It's not to condemn, but it's to get, it's to get us moving forward.
The one last thing I want to tell you. Now, if you're going to commit a budget at a level, at a national level, you have to commit to maintaining the works that you have implemented. Because after the design life of the work, they don't want it to come to naught. You want to have a maintenance plan that after the design you have some residual value and it will perform during the design life. The failure of our infrastructure is the inability to maintain the work effectively.
Correct.
So,
you there?
Yes.
Go right ahead. I'm listening. Go right ahead.
Right. So we will have to seriously look at revising the regimes, like how we have drainage department, regional corporations, local government, urban development corporation, all the different departments, highways divisions, each of them having a portion of the drainage under them. And when time to do the maintenance and the repairs, there's dispute who is responsible for what. And the end result, enter the rainy season and it's flooding and nothing is done. So you have to start to put some comprehensive programs with major planning and the people who are capable of running the work and managing the work to get it done and bring results. Right? I will give you a very nice example. The ability to get the Caparo River done to save Shagwana's flooding. 20 years after, Shagwana still doesn't have any flooding when everybody used to say Shagwana's people was living in the floodplain and they should be flooded. And Diego Martin, people in the north was making that complaint. And look at what is happening in Diego Martin and in the northern areas and in Port of Spain. The people who were complaining. And so up to today, Shagwana still hasn't had any major flooding except for local area drainage flooding. But if the drainage in Shagwana is not maintained, that river is not maintained. It is about 20 years since that work was done, and we'll begin to experience problem again because it's overgrown, it is overgrassed, the slopes collapsing, the drainage it begins to deteriorate. And what will happen is that with the development like all Edinburgh 500 and all these massive development causing runoff much faster than if the land wasn't developed, it will eventually start flooding again in Shagwana.
Correct.
So, Saeed, some of the things I'm saying, I hope the listeners could understand and appreciate it.
My friend, thank you so much for your comment and your concerns tonight. We said a lot. We had a lot of discussion. Thank you so much. But hopefully you can get in touch with me, 339-1670, or call the same number, and we could make arrangements and meet, and probably we could get something going in Chaguanas. And we could use that same initiative that we set up in Chaguanas for other areas. You see, I will tell you something. We look at that budget, yes. But billions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, this go for works and transport to do roads. Millions of dollars are spent on road. Just imagine, we have the highway in Trinidad here. We have the highway in Trinidad. We have a highway division. We have pitch in our country, right? We have resources to have proper roads. But yet we do not have proper highways. Some of the highways don't even have the white line. Right in Ramsaran Street in Chaguanas here, the Borough Corporation not too far. They're not too far. But I will say something tonight. The day you hear somebody hit any one of my vehicle on the Ramsaran Road, I'm going to tell you something, that will be a horse of a different color. There is no white line. You know how many times my workers just have to dodge vehicles? Right on Ramsaran Street, no white line. I am living right here on Carry the Savannah Road in Chaguanas, and there are no white line. And every Wednesday, I intend to highlight it until the corporation find money somewhere, or the ministry to release money to the corporation to paint the road, the white line. I will continue highlighting it until it gets into the ears of the finance minister and the Ministry of Works and Transport to release money to paint the roads and them. It is overbearing. One of these days, I tell you, anytime you hear a man hit one of my vehicle there, is it just how it push? When Lahad was the Minister of Public Utilities and they wanted to charge Arangwes farmers for water, remember how I stood right here and pushed for it? Tell me where Mocha is getting their water from. If you could tell me that, charge the farmers. If you can't, drop everything. What did Lahan do? Not drop everything? So this is the same thing I will do every Wednesday night. Caller, good night.
Caller, good night, Saeed. Calling in connection with the Venezuelans and them boys. It has too much Venezuelans.
My dear, we do apologize. Tonight is not the night for any other issues. I understand your concern, but tonight we're dealing with the roads, we're dealing with the drains, we're dealing with the bridges, we're dealing with flooding. We're trying to keep on one track tonight. We don't want to go sidetrack. I do apologize for cutting, but maybe tomorrow night you could call in and we will deal with the issue. So viewers, we're going along incompleted box drain. There are now concerns from Bridgemohan Avenue, Armour Street in Princestown for an uncompleted box drain by Regional Corporation. The drain was done approximately 3 years ago and has never been worked on since. The MP is Mr. Barry Padarat and the councillor is Derek Matura. We have a visual for that drain? Look at that. 3 years are back. 3 years are back. Incompleted box drain. Corporation is not too far. Not too far. And an incompleted box drain. Why? After 3 years. Look at that. Now, viewers, these visuals were sent in to us, and we tried our best to fix 1 or 2 issues, concerning videotaping and thing, to bring it to a proper standard so you would understand what is taking place. We intend to highlight these things. Caller, good night.
Hey, good night, Saeed. Good night to all the listeners and all the viewers. Saeed, I don't know if you recall, I remember as a little child going to school. Right? I remember John Humphrey had been talking about building catchment areas along the northern range to hold back the water, right, from coming down in the plains and flooding it. I remember when, after George Chambers decided to close down the Caroni Racing Complex, John Humphrey suggested that they turn that into an artificial lake. And when the Caroni River rises over a certain level, they divert the water there to prevent flooding. Right, and they could use that water for irrigation, agriculture, a lot of different purposes. Right, I remember in 2002, even Mr. Manning, budget after budget, they were putting aside money for the Caparo Dam. And what became of that?
I understand.
Yeah. So it's something that we are doing all the time.
I understand. Thank you for highlighting the matter, my friend. So you see, viewers, this is our Wednesday night show. We're highlighting the issues. And so what the caller was saying, who was on for almost 10 minutes where we had a discussion. You see, it would go back. It would go back. You're paying millions of dollars to contractors. Buy some excavator and some backhoe and assign it to the corporation because the corporation have a mechanical team that would look after the excavator. And when a bearing go bad for 500, you wouldn't say the bearing costs 30 and 40,000. You understand? So this is what we need. We need to conserve money. We need to create a plan in order to get drains and bridges, water course clean. We need to create a plan. How long are we going to continue spending millions of dollars of tax-paying money that citizens contribute to tax and just give a contractor? How long? We are not going to see progress. You see, I am not bashing anyone, you know. We are looking for solutions to fix problems because the last 6 months and every year we encounter flooding in our country. Farmers lose millions of dollars. Citizens lose thousands of dollars in appliances. Why? Because the water course is blocked. No proper drainage. Now, some of citizens in certain areas will have to bear the brunt. They will have to take if you get a charge, you'll have to take it because you see dumping. Dumping is a serious thing, you know. Caller, good night.
Yeah, good night, Saieed.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, two topics.
Yes.
The first topic, why they buy units and give them regional corporations to clean and drain?
Is the same thing I was saying just now?
From January, December. So that will be maintaining whole year, right? Instead of giving a big contractor 20 million.
Exactly.
You understand?
Yes.
So give regional corporation, all the corporation, equipment, and they will clean, drain, and do everything whole year from January, December. And then next like this, right? You notice the Monroe Road flyover on the northbound lane, right? When you're going up, you see the mangrove nearly reach the highway already?
Yes.
The water nearly reach the highway. So if we hear they are full up to the edge of the road or something in the highway, all that will slip the highway out. Actually, the mangrove reach right at the highway.
Thank you, my friend. It's the same thing. It's the same thing I was just saying. You'll pay a contractor 20 million like the caller said. 20 million for one work. And that 20 million could go into 6 or 7 different corporations. That is equipment. You see, you already have a worker in the corporation. You already have a mechanical team in the corporation. So you don't have to pay excessive cost. And that now, with that plan into place, the waterways would be clean. And then now, the litter wardens that working in the corporation now, they could be out patrolling. And when they catch you, they hit you up $5,000 penalty. Because there are dumps. There's one in Clarkson Bay. There's one on the Beatam. Caller, good night.
Mr. Saieed.
Go right ahead.
Calling from Chinchin, Petersville Street.
Okay, go right ahead, yes.
Yes, we still have mud drain inside here. Mud drain.
Wow.
And I could see the drain. Grass take over the drain.
Send us a video.
I will send us a video. And don't talk for the councillor. We don't ever see the councillor.
Well, boy, this is why I decided to highlight my Wednesday night show, you know. Get the councillors active.
And the councillor is Damati go sign.
Thank you, my friend. You see, don't be afraid to call the councillor name, because we want to know what the councillor is up to. What is the councillor up to? Are you just collecting a salary, or you're just there? Because the people want to see you active. A drain area in Five Rivers Aruka have not been fixed for several years. Persons are hoping to get assistance after years of flooding due to the unclean drain.
My name is Saieed Ali from Spring Road, 5 Rivers Aruka. I live in here 25 years, and since 25 years I go in self-help all over to get help to fix this drain. I end up going self-help, and they tell me that the check was ready. Keep on going. They come and tell me the check expired. They have to send it back to get it back. Up to now, going in 5-6 years, we ain't get it back as yet. When they was fixing the drain in front there, I drew it to attention to them to see here. They walk up here and they see it. That up and tell me that this here is not private property to fix it. Tell me this is right. If they fix the drain in front and I draw this attention to them, and they fix it, where they want the water to run. The water have to run out, you have to go to the big drain they fix. It's rain season, and when the water come up high on a mining the concrete, so I don't know how long this will remain like that, because it's caving down. But by chances it's real flood, but what we live in is a valley. All the mountain water, everything coming down to this drain is the main drain for the water to run out to the big drain. But what I'm saying, when the flood coming down, my house ended up caving down. At which you could see it caving. The posts end up falling. We end up put some bricks in there, because the whole house going down to the drain, which you could see it. You understand? And this is not all. If I carry it to the back, you'll see how the back is and all too. So it's really, really bad. It's really, really bad. Just begging to see if I could get this drain fixed, please. That is nothing I could do. I don't have the money to fix this drain. It really, really serious. Yesterday, I tell you, water was quite on top of here. So I just begging, please, to see if I could get a help to fix this drain.
Now, viewers, that is in 5 Rivers in Aruka for several years now. The individual is hoping that some ministry would come along and fix it. Just imagine that. We have to be hoping. The Ministry of Works and Transport would release a little funds to a corporation for the workers to go out and work. Just imagine that. And look at that. And we as citizens in Trinidad and Tobago, we okay with the drainage in our country. We okay with it. I am holding now the present administration responsible. You know why? They have been in power for the last 5 years. And if they had a proper plan, in some areas may not have had flood to the extent that will cost millions. Karapichaima, a concerned citizen from Bank Village, Karapichaima, stated that a drain in the area have not been cleaned for the past 8 years. 8 years. Look at that. 8 years. And I am sure people from the corporation pass on that area. I am sure ministry vehicles pass on that area. Look at that. Kola, good night.
Good night,
Let run. Go right ahead.
Mr. Ali, the corporation normally have people to clean the drain. But what really happens, when these workers and them go to work for 7:30, 7:30, they finish work.
I understand.
Look, I see recently coming on street here to clean. I take footage and I take to the corporation and for them to get paid. But the man really not good enough. So how I tell him, I say, monkey, know what pick your crime to stop agreeing and this and that. You know, these people are not asking for the money. Government just saying these people. So better to send the people home. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. Look at that. Look at the condition of that. It must cause flood. Water not running. It must cause flood. So viewers, this is what our Wednesday show is about. We're highlighting the drainage. For those of you who have sent in photos and videos and voice note with messages, we do apologize that everything cannot be shown in one night. But I will continue whatever videos and photos and messages we get, notes we get concerning drain. As every Wednesday go along, we will show it because we want your community, we want the roads, we want the drains, we want the bridges, we want your community up and working proper. We want it working. And you see the Works and Transport Ministry, they had to formulate some plan. Because if the advisors cannot come up with a plan, I will surely give them one. 20 million you're paying a contractor. 20 million. I am definitely sure we could probably get about 7 or 8 excavators with that for different corporations. It is being maintained by the corporation. It is being driven or operate with a worker who is employed at the corporation. And you see, when you buy a new brand excavator, you will get 10 years out of it without having to fix anything. It's that simple. Like I had to start to raise funds to buy excavators for corporations now. Just imagine that. It's a simple plan. A simple plan. All they need is equipment. Just equipment. In order for TTPS to combat crime, you need patrol vehicles. Hundreds of millions of dollars are spent on patrol vehicles. And before now we source funds to refurbish it, it is back down. So what the ministry have to do, what the minister have to do is to pull together resources, talk to the Minister of Finance, Mr. Colin Mimbert. Apparently you don't want to release funds. Because corporations stand still. When you call them to do some job, we don't have funding. Why you don't have funding? All these millions passing through and no funding for corporations to keep the roads and the drainage active, to keep waterways clear, to keep the road perfect, and we have pitch here? That's madness. That is madness. We need proper planning. We need a proper management team. Let me tell you something. Every Wednesday night, I will do the same thing I do in here now. Every Wednesday night. Until it fall, until it irritates some minister ears. That they will, you know what, let me fix that so Saieed could stop talking. Every single Wednesday, I'm going to do the same thing. And I will continue mentioning Ramsaran Street. Until the Ministry of Finance release a little money for the Works and Transport to release it to the corporation to buy some paint to paint the bloody road. So the citizens, the vehicles using the Ramsaran Street to come into Shogunas, they will have proper directions instead of swerving away from oncoming vehicles. What is the head of the corporation saying? What is the MP for the area saying? What is the councillor for the area saying? Shogunas is a capital. Like Port of Spain, like Arima, like San Fernando. So we can't get some money to buy paint for the road? Every Wednesday night I'm going to do the same thing. Every single Wednesday I'm going to do the same thing. So viewers, send in your video footage. Send in your pictures of the roads, of the drains, of the bridges in your community, and we will highlight it every single Wednesday until we get persons in authority to fix it. To fix it. And I am not going to stop. Rohan Sinanam will get sick of me calling his name every Wednesday on Real Talk with Saieed. Every Wednesday. Because if no other organization in Trinidad is calling his name, bet your last dollar, every Wednesday you will hear his ministry being mentioned on Real Talk with Saieed Ali. So viewers, we probably have about 1 minute left on our show tonight. We thank you for joining us. Remember, when you're standing in your video, turn your camera, videotape, take your pictures, send your voice notes, send your messages to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will get your video and your photo out here in the public domain. So viewers, until we meet, remember, it's Bacchanal Thursday tomorrow night. Be safe, sanitize, wear your mask. Allah karaba illa zumatubra illa anta kibali zuna. Oh, before we go, I want to say to Mr. Ian Allen, the host of Crime Watch, from Real Talk Studios, to you, my friend, we do wish you a speedy recovery. We understand that you had a little operation, and we don't want to say much, but we just wish you a speedy recovery so you can come on back and do your thing for Trinidad and Tobago. So viewers, until we meet again, be safe and enjoy the night.